Welcome to another tutorial with me. So in today's tutorial we'll be learning how to design this navigation bar. So we'll be learning how to design this navigation bar, and then we put up this image and this write up at the center. Okay, so in today's video this is what we're going to be learning. So I've already created a file for this particular video, and inside this file I have the images we'll be using throughout this particular project of building a school management system. So this is it here. In the description of this particular video I'm going to put the link to the images. So I'm going to put the link where you can get the images from. So let's quickly go over to our VS Code. So to get this project done, all you need to do is move over to your VS Code. Let me open the file. Personal projects. Let me open the file, and then all right, so this is the file here. All you need to do is launch your VS Code. So inside my VS Code, we are going to be fast. Inside my VS Code, I'm just going to create new file. Okay, not inside. I'll just create a new file. I'll call the file index.html. I will create another file. I will call it style.css. Remember that this is what we want to achieve. So we have this navigation bar, then this banner and this write up, plus this icon, so plus this button here. So let's quickly go in. So to get this, I will hold my shift key and click on one. I will click enter. It will generate this for me, but if your own can't actually generate this, if you are not using the updated VS Code, if it cannot generate this, then all you need to do is type it one after the other. So what will I do now? I will come here, I will name it school website. So let's view it. Let's open our browser first. All right, school website. So let's go back to the coding. So I will create the header. Let's create the header. Inside this header we are going to have a container. So inside this div containing handling this container, I will have the nav, that is the navigation bar. So inside this navigation bar, mind you that here we have the logo and we have the navigation bar here. We have the logo here and then the navigation bar. So what I need to do is, inside this nav I will create the image for that logo. So I will put up the source images. Look at the logo here. Mind you that I've already added the link where you can get these images from. Then I will then create another div. I will name it nav length. The div that will handle the unordered list. Inside the unordered list, I will create the list, because I want it to be clickable. If you watch this now, and if you click this now, it will have to open to another page. So what I will need to do is I will add the anchor tag. I will keep that place empty for now. So I will just write home. Pick this. I will copy it. Then once I copy it, I will paste it here. 1, 2, that is 4 times. I will name this about. I will name this courses, and then this will be contact us. contacts. So let's quickly go over now to our CSS, and then first let's go over to our CSS. So first, all we need to do is we need to give this CSS a general code, thereby removing the default margin and padding that comes with the web browser. So I'll just come here, I will say put asterisk, I will say margin 0, padding 0. So let's go over now to our HTML and copy this class, which is container. So move over now to CSS. So to target this container, I will just click on dots and then put the container name, the div name, the class name. So inside this now, let's give it a width. Let's give it a width of 100%. Let's give it a background black. So we've given it a background of black. So let's view it. Sorry, we did not link our CSS. First, let's link our CSS. So we have linked the CSS now. So let's move over now to our CSS again and then view the site. All right, so this is the site now. So we've given it a width and a background. So let us go back now. Okay, I will copy this container again. Let me copy this container. Then I will come down here, paste it here, and style that image, which is the logo. Okay, we need to reduce the size of this logo. We need to reduce the size of this logo. So I will style it. I will give it a width of 150 pixels. So let us see how it is. All right, so what we need to do now is let's move over to our, so let us target this nav. Let us target this nav. So what I need to do now is come here. Mind you that is just an element. So in targeting an element, you don't put any other thing, just put the element name. So inside this element now, what I'm going to do now is I will display it as flex. If I display it as flex, this right up will come to this side, like it will be on a straight line with the logo. So all I need to do is just to display it as flex. Let me display it as flex. So I've displayed it as flex. So what I need to do again is let me justify this content. Justify content. I will use space between. You can use space around. You can justify your own, but then I will use space between. Let me use space between. All right, so I've actually moved it to this end. Let me give it a padding. If you watch, you see that. If you watch, you see that it is very close to here and very close to here, the edges. So I'll give it a padding of 2%, then 6%. That is up and down 2%, this angle, 6%. So from here to this image is 2%, from this down to this down is 2%. So let me go back now. If you watch now, you see that we need to make it to be in a straight line. So what do we need to do now? We've given it a padding. So let's come back now, go over to our HTML file and copy this link, nav link. Remember that this nav link is the class that is holding the navigation links, all these links. So let us come back here now to our CSS. I will target it. and then I will also target the list itself. So I will say I will display it as an inline. If I display it as an inline, it's supposed to be in a straight line. So I'll just display it as an inline. So we've displayed it as an inline. What do we need to do next? We've displayed it as an inline. Let's give it padding. If you watch now, it is very close to itself. It's very close to itself. So let's give it padding. Let's give it padding. I'll give it padding of 8 pixels. Alright, so I've given it a padding of 8 pixels. So this spacing is okay. So we need to target the anchor length. We need to target the anchor, which is the A. That is the href. So I will put the A, which is the href. First, I will give it a color of white. I'll give it a color of white. I will remove this line under it. I will remove the line under it. I will say text decoration. Text decoration. I will say none. So I've removed the line under it. So I will make it to be initial capital. So I will say text transform. If you watch now, you see that they are all in small letters. So I want it to be capitalized like an initial capital. So I will just have to do text transform. I will put it in capitalize. Alright. So what we need to do next, we need to put up the font size. I will give it 15 pixels. Let me give it 25 pixels. It is much. Let's give it 20. Let's give it 20 pixels. Okay, 20 pixels is okay. So what do we need to do next? Let me see. Alright, there is a hover. There is hover. And then this one, the space from here is also bigger than the one we have here. If you watch here and I see that the space here is too close, although it is still very okay. It is still very okay. Let's leave it like that. So what do we need to do next? Let's put the hover effect. Let's put the hover effect. So I'll just copy this. I'll copy this. I'll copy it. Come down here. I'll put hover. First, I will give it a color of, let's give it brown color. Sorry. Okay, it's not effective. Alright, so let's move this hover closer. Let's move this hover closer to the A. It is still very far from the A. Alright, so look at the hover effect. Once you hover on it, let it change. I will also put an underline. I will say text decoration, underline. So it will underline it anytime you hover on it. And then let's give it a transition. Let's say transition. Let's give it 0.7. Let's give it 0.5. That is how long it stays before it changes. I want you now to see that effect. So to see that effect, let me just give it 3 so that you can see the effect of that transition. 3 seconds. Are you seeing it now? So this is the hover effect. So but let's go back now and give it 0.5 seconds. This is okay. So it doesn't need to take centuries before it will display. So this is the header. So we've actually achieved this. If I want to shift this more, if I want to shift our own to this center, I'll just have to give it a margin. Okay, I will shift it from here to here. I'll give it a margin and then shift it from there to there, but I think it's okay like this. So let's go back now to our index.html file. So outside this header, let me create another session. Let me create a session. Inside this session, I will have the banner class. Inside this class, if you watch this now, we have this write-ups. So inside this class, I will have the first write-up and then this. So let's quickly do that. Inside this class, I will have h3. Let me copy the write-up. h3. So I will put this write-up here. And then we also have the p tag. Inside the p tag, let's use lorem to generate the content. So let me cut it so that I can easily see. So let's see what, okay, so this is what we have now. So let's quickly go back now to our code. Let's copy this banner. So let's copy this class banner. Let's come over to our style. I will target the banner. Correct bracket. So first, I need to put the image. I need to put up this image. I need to put up this particular image. Mind you that the image is already in the folder, which the link is on the description. So on the image now, I will say background image. Background image. I will use linear gradients. Inside this linear gradient, I'm going to give it a color first, RGBA. Then my brackets, I will put the color code now 4930 0.7. So all I need to do is I will duplicate this. I will copy it again because I want the effect to come out very well. So I will put another comma, put it. Okay. So look at it now. Look at the way it is. So what I need to do now is to put up the image. So let me put up the image. I'll just put, then this is the image here, banner link. So let us check. So the banner is already inside here. So I'll come down here now. What do I need to do next? I will give this image a height. Let me give it a height of 100 view height. And then I will give it a width of 100%. Alright, so look at it now. We gave it a width of 100% and a height of 100 view height. So what do we need to do next? We We have the H3 and then the P tag. So look at what we have to do. We copy this, the banner. We put it. Before it, let's target the H3. Let's target the H3. First, let me align the text to center. Let's align center. Let me give it a color. Let me give it a color of white. All right, let me increase the font size. Font size. No. Font size to 25 pixel. 25 pixel. Let's still increase it to 30 pixel. All right. So let's do 30 pixel. So let's target the P tag. I will copy this again. Come down, put it here, then target the P tag. Inside this P tag now, let me also align the text to center. Okay, let me give it color also. Let me give it a color of white. So we still have one thing left, which is the button. Let's quickly go over to our code and add the button. So this button, I will just come under this P tag, and then I will add I'll just add the anchor tag, and then give it a name. Learn more. First, let us remove. I'll just come here. I will say copy A. Let me remove the underline. I will say text decoration, none. Text decoration, none. I'll give it a color of white. I'll give it padding of 8 pixel. I'll give it border, one pixel, solid, and then let's see the other one's color. Okay, red, pink, brown. Oh, sorry. Then I will say brown. So we've achieved that. Let us align it now to the center. This now we'll go over to the banner and then align it to center. Let's say test align center. So it is now at the center. So I have now to, in order for me to move this So we have to move this text now to this center somewhere here. So in order for us to move this text now to the center, to move everything here now to the center, all we need to do is we need to go back to our HTML file. We have to create another class that we will use to move it. That class, I will call it banner underscore text. So inside this class now, I will have to copy everything here out. I will copy it out and then I'll put it inside this banner. I'll just put it inside this banner. So inside this banner now, I will use that banner text to move this text now to the center. So all I need to do is copy this, copy the class, then come over to CSS and then target it, and then I will give it position relative. I'll give it a relative position, and I'll give it top, let's say 300 pixel. Let us see. All right, so it is already at the center. Okay, it is at the center. So what we need to do next is we need to work on this button. So let's work on this button now. So if you watch now, you see that this button is on top of this right top. So what do we need to do? We need to come over and look for where we targeted this right top. Let's go over now to where we targeted that right top. Let's say not banner. Okay, banner. Let us give it margin bottom. Let's give it margin bottom of 40 pixel. Is much? Not much. I think it's okay. Let's give it margin bottom of 40 pixel, and then from the right up, this, let's give it little space. Where is the H3? Let's also give it a margin bottom. Let's give it a margin bottom of 15 pixel. All right. So I can quickly just come here and break that right up into two. Let me just use the break, the HTML break. Though the write up is not much, but let us make it look, that makes it look better. So what we need to do next now is we need to give color to this button. They gave it a green color, sorry, a blue color. So let us give it a color. Where is it? Okay, let's give it a background color of blue. Background color blue. Let's still give it, let's increase the padding. Where's the padding? Let's increase it to 13 pixels. Okay, let's give it 8 pixel up and down, and then 15 pixel left and right. All right, so this is it now. So what we need to do now is we need to work on the hover effect. Let's add hover to it. Let's copy this. I'll add hover. So this is the hover effect. Now we'll just give it a color. Let's see the color. Let's just give it a red color and then a transition. Let's just say background color red, transition, two seconds. Let's give it a border. One pixel, solid, red. It shouldn't be red, it should be something close to red. All right, so I think we've gotten this side. So what we need to do now is, if you watch this top, you see that once you scroll, the top scrolls with it. So we need to put it at feast. We need to make this top to be feast. So let us go to where we targeted this particular top and give it a feast position. So to make this navigation bar, to make it static, we have to put a fixed position to it. So all you need to do is come over to the container handling, holding all the navigation bar. So we'll come over to that container, which is here. We put position as feast. So once we put this position as feast, okay, watch it now. You see that it doesn't have the scroll bar anymore because this position is not fixed. If you keep putting things under, if you keep creating other sections of this website, whenever you scroll, just like this now, so whenever you scroll, the up there will be fixed. It will be fixed. So what we need to do next is remaining one thing, which is this university has a different color. So all we need to do is we come over to this file, index file, the HTML file, then we locate that university. Then let's use span. So we'll copy this university. Let's put this university inside this span. So if we put this university inside this span, we'll go over now to the CSS. Let's copy this banner. Put it here. Target the span. And then give it color of brown. Give it a brown color. And here it is. All we could have done is just to increase the size of this. So guys, see you in the next episode where we'll be building the remaining parts of this particular website.